Well, these are crane flies, and they would imitate a crane fly, which is like we call them mosquito hawks as kids. So that's one. These are a blue dun. They just imitate a nymph of the mayflies.
The number of bugs in the stream, their size, their color, their shape is just unbelievably complex. You need to be an entomologist to really and study bugs to become a really good fly tyer, I suppose.
I don't remember if I doubled up the tails on the last ones I did before, because I tied them quite a while ago.
Well, you look at what the fish are doing. If they're rising to the top of the water and taking flies, then that suggests that you fish on the top. If there's nothing showing and you know there's fish there, then you would fish an underneath fly. But what they do is, we usually go along the shore and pick up rocks and turn them over, or they get a piece of cheesecloth, net thing, and stir up the bottom a little bit and see what drifts in. Because that's what's hatching, that's what they're feeding on. And sometimes they're very, very fussy. If you haven't got the right size, the right color. So if you can decide what they're feeding on, that's half the battle. Most times you would go to the water, you'd have a fly box. You'd open it up and there's 2 or 3 that you would just start with, just try it. While or you sit and watch. Like Christmas tinsel comes in all kinds of colors. So there's the red stuff. So what that does there, it does in the water. All that stuff is moving.
So we have to carry in our boxes whatever we think might be hatching at that time, and put it down and hope the fish mistakes it for the natural thing. I see a fish in the water. I might not see the fish in the water. I might see it rising. I might see it just a little ring on the top of the surface of the water, which means that a fish has come up and picked something off that surface. And that's the fish I'm going to go and try and catch, that fish. Because they'll come up at the same spot all the time. They found a nice spot behind a rock, and they'll wait for the bugs to come along, and they'll come up and they'll take the bug, and then they'll go right back down behind their rock, and then another bug will come along, and up they'll come. So all I'm seeing is little circles on the surface of the water. I look at what's on the surface of the water. I see a specific bug. Let's say it's a little green bug that big. I say, do I have anything in my box that looks like that? Well, this is pretty close. It's green and it's about the right size, looks like the right shape. Can I put it over that fish where he's eating? If I can, down it comes and up comes the fish and takes my fly. And it's thrilling. It's an absolute gas to be able to do that.